Hello, and welcome back to Killigan's Treasure. We're being interrogated. I guess not interrogated. We're doing things with Mac. He's still a little lad. Okay, my turn for another question. Well, okay. Does the color of Bovian fur mean anything? It seems slightly odd that most other beasts are earthly colors, but you're purple.
Well, I can go off what my pa told me. Pretty sure he mentioned a couple of times that the darker a Bovo's fur, the higher he's seen. Whatever that means. There's also a darker mane that comes in around later years. He ain't at that point yet, but it's something older Bovos would take pride in, apparently.
Interesting. Thank you for that explanation. You had other questions too, right?
Oh, I do, yeah.
What questions should I ask? What are the skrills? What other kinds of magic are there? Kind of skrillsies?
I've seen a huge variety of, y'all's lizards over just the last couple of days I've spent here. And I've heard the word pure scales thrown around a whole lot. Mind explaining all that?
Yeah, sure. So skrills are physically divided into two types: soft scales and hard scales. Soft scale skrills like myself are skrills who have thin layers of scales overlaying smooth bodies. While we don't have much in the way of physical resistance, our scales are an excellent conductor for magical spells. The majority of the student body here at the Academy is soft scales, although there are some exceptions. Soft scale Skrilsies even consider graduation from the Arcane Academy as a rite of passage of sorts. Meanwhile, hard scale Skrilsi have much thicker layers of scales and often have scales and scoots that are very jagged. Zakar is a prime example of a hard scale Skrilsi, which are generally much more physically adept than soft scales. Controlling magic is difficult for them due to how rugged their scales are, but it also makes them highly resistant to most forms of it as well.
Why'd y'all spray Zokar with the Hydro spell then, if you knew it wasn't gonna do anything?
I'm not quite sure. I was hoping to prepare a stronger spell to catch him off guard, but that small jet was all I could do in the moment. Needless to say, I almost casted a different kind of hydronic spell when he turned his attention on me, so I'm thankful you were able to subdue him.
No problem. I barely even broke a sweat.
As a pure scale, there are Skrilsi of the highest echelon. I don't know. They can be both soft scales or hard scales, but what's paramount among them is their scale quality. And usually being born into it by blood relations. Their scales are kept in such pristine condition that they can be blinded if the sun refracts off them the wrong way.
But, hey, why are they holed up in their own section of town? Just 'cause they're clean doesn't make them more special than anyone else.
It's due to how they don't consider us mud scales to be worthy enough to witness their presence. They're also granted special privileges from the Echle dynasty, such as immunity to nudity laws.
Sounds pretty damn unique if you ask me.
Agreed. Oh, there's another question I had. Do you shed your fur all at once or bits at a time?
It depends on the season. Once we get set to summer, it'll start coming out in clumps whenever I bathe.
Is that uncomfortable?
Oh, nah. Only makes it real easy to overheat if you've gone a few weeks without brushing it out. The feeling of thin fur after I brush it out, though. Pure bliss. but you'll probably hear the same thing from any other beasts.
Fascinating. I don't often talk to beasts, so this is actually brand new information to me.
Nah, gotcha. No, yeah, I got another question for you. There's some kind of magic. More kinds of magic, right? Not just hydro, whatever, and arcanic?
Correct. Hydronic and Arcanic are simply the schools I specialize in and have the most experience in. As for others, there's the fire magic known as Pyronics, which is challenging to cast as it requires friction against one's scales, but has a multitude of uses. Then there's Arcanic, which is primarily the control of wind-based magic, but most advanced mages have also managed to channel lightning through it. Another is Phytonics, also known as magical manipulation of plant life, which is practical for both potion creation and for medical use. Lastly, there's Solinics, the practice of ground-based magic, which is often used in architecture, armor, and sometimes communication.
Jeez, oh, like y'all got the school of magic for everything, huh?
I suppose so. Magic is definitely a big part of society here. Oh, I had another question. I apologize if I'm, stepping on toes here, but, does having hooves bother you at all?
Sometimes, but I've been used to them since I was a little calf. Even got teased about it by other kids, but a kick from one of these to the nuts shuts them straight up.
Goodness! I can't imagine how either of those situations must have felt.
It ain't all bad. They've got their pros and cons. I couldn't wear toe walker boots, but Pa would sometimes pick up a pair of them and repurpose them into fit around my hooves, so that was nice. Hooves are always gonna be a part of me, though. I can't imagine my life without them.
I see. That's intriguing to know.
I got one more question, if you don't mind.
Certainly. What question do I address, I guess?
Are you comfortable with dressing like that? I mean, I've seen Squirrelsy walking around in barely more than a Lango. Do y'all not have, in-sea tailors here? Alright, yeah. I'm one, I'm one, to talk, but still.
And that's actually a few reasons why Squirrelsy don't wear quite as much as beasts genuinely do. One of the primary reasons is because we are cold-blooded, meaning that we don't gain as much warmth from clothing as beasts do. Instead, in order to remain warm and healthy, Squirrelsy tend to live in temperature or sometimes hot areas. Temperate? Okay. Since cold weather can potentially be deadly to us. Another reason is due to how scale quality plays a tremendous role in Squirrelsy's society. Cleanliness of scales is not only good hygiene, but also a measure of how one is perceived in the hearts of others. In the eyes of others, not the hearts. What am I thinking? What am I doing? Those with dirtier scales typically aren't even seen as equals. Especially by the pure scales. Lastly, there's the fact that, our genitals are internal, encased behind a slit. Unlike beasts, Squirrelsy don't have anything that dangle from the groins, so it's not as, physically vulnerable down there. Therefore, protection or covering of that area isn't as necessary, but it's still often clothed anyway.
So it's like nature gave you a free pair of undies.
I suppose so, yeah.
I think that's about all the questions I got for now. How about you?
Likewise. I greatly appreciate your help with answering those questions. They're things I've been very curious about from before you even arrived in Eris.
Happy to help. I feel like I ought to stuff about Wait, I feel like a lot of stuff about y'all's culture got cleared up for me, too. Enough to where I'm definitely feeling satisfied enough to get some sleep now.
Okay. I have a night class I should be getting to soon anyway, so I'll get out of your fur. And I'll try not to wake you up with books dropping next to your ear when I get back.
Sounds good. And thanks for all your help with trying to get my map back. Means a lot. Means a lot that you spent all day helping me out.
Of course. I'll see you hopefully when you wake up in the morning.
Nighty. Alrighty. Not nighty.
I don't know. With that, he jogs out of the dorm, making sure the lights turn off and just the door behind him. Bye-bye. Just last night, I take off most of my garbs so I can sleep soundly without leather or metal digging into me. Then I lay down and shift around against the drapes, getting cozier and cozier as my eyelids get heavier. Till I gradually feel myself drifting off towards slumberland. Huh? Day 3. These days are a little eventful, aren't they? And they're kind of neat. I like them. Oh. Eh? Am I back in Redroot? The tree in the plaza snapped. The whole town must have heard it. I gotta go find Pa. I gotta... Wait, I'm not in Redroot anymore. That's right. I'm in Eris now. Redroot's long behind me. I don't know how long it's gonna be before I get that through my thickums skull. Matt coming back through the dorm's stone door must have woken me up. Sorry. I tried to stop the door from slamming shut, but I dropped my report and then it slammed, and you were breathing really hard, and... How should I respond? Fall back asleep.
I'm gonna get more shut-eye. Still really need it just from getting to town the other day.
Okay. Sorry. Oh, great. Now I can't sleep because I'm wondering what's got him so riled up.
Alright, I'm curious. Why are you looking so stressed out, Mac?
Well, as part of my final assignments, I've been tasked with writing extensive reports pertaining to the courses I've taken last semester. Ordinarily, it's just one report. It's for a general studies course, a magical studies course, or a history studies course. This time, it's for all 3, one for each course. And they all need to be completed this weekend.
Well, that doesn't sound fair. Why are they piling all that on you?
It's a mandatory part of graduation, which will be happening next week. I'm not sure what will be more nerve-wracking. These reports or the graduation itself. But the fortunate part is that I have a wealth of notes to pull from. The reports need to be quite lengthy, but I believe I have enough material.
So, the main holdup is, you just need to sit down and write them?
Precisely. But first we should sit down at the Burning Tail and have lunch.
Not brunch.
We've already passed the time for brunch, Killigan. It's early afternoon now.
Sheesh. I was out that long.
You didn't wake up when I came back from my first class, likely because I was able to ease the door closing with a quick spell. My arms were twofold casted again this time, however.
Don't worry about it. My stomach's telling me it's time to get going anyway.
Okay. I'll go ahead and get down to the tavern to place our usual orders. Hopefully they'll be ready by the time you arrive.
Alrighty, sounds good.
Sounds good. Well, time to get dressed. Max got his own coursework to deal with, and my map ain't gonna fix itself. Yay. Oh, I don't have anything there. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. It's good. Am I satisfied with this? Yeah. That ought to do it. There we go. I grabbed a seat at our usual booth as soon as I walked in. The tavern's relatively empty this time of day, surprisingly. My nose picks up on the herbal grub cooking, but it's gonna be hours before that's ready, likely close to dinner time. The more pressing issue right now, though, is that Mac's nowhere to be found. Did he have some last minute class shit to do on the way here? Nah, probably would have mentioned it. Or did something happen? Tavir, Zakar? I almost swapped the Z and K. I was like, Kozar? No, it's Zakar. Zokar. It's fine. It's fine, guys. You could have grabbed him if they put two and two together and think he's associated with me. Myra only knows would be going through, not doing. Yes, going through that worrywart brain right of his. There we go. I'm having some troubles at the moment. Yeah, I ought to go find him. And gonna let them sink their scaly claws into a softy like him. Just as I start to get up from the booth. Killigan! I've got a better idea! I breathe a sigh of relief as he settles in, pulling out a long sheet of paper. Here, have a look! Oh, God.
The Athlema Summit? What's that?
The Athlem Summit. And it's a physical sports competition. It was once a hard-scale exclusive event intended to showcase their prowess through a variety of strength-based contests as a finale to their rigorous training. But in recent years, it's opened up to other Skrillzy as well as beasts. Anyone can compete now.
What's it got to do with finding my map?
I'm getting to that.
All right.
All these contests accumulate into a score, and if your score puts in the top 3 competitors, you'll earn the opportunity to fight the Beast Slayer. The Beast Slayer is the champion of the hard scales, a beacon of intimidation that strikes fear into anyone that questions him. And if you defeat the Beast Slayer, your reward is an invitation to a banquet with peer scales on their side of town.
Oh, I see what you're getting at now.
There's just one problem with this idea. Yeah?
Zakar is the Beast Slayer, ain't he?
Yes, actually. You would need not only attain one of the most top scores in the Athlema Summit, but also best him in hand-to-hand combat. Intentional magic use is not permitted, so you would at least be on the same playing field as him. But it would still be an incredible challenge.
He's right. That's one hell of a tall order, judging from the encounter with him from last night. The only way we're gonna get my map back, hell, the only way I'm gonna get out of Eris, is if I somehow steal it back from Tavi. Or get that info she wants, supposedly deep in the Pura Scales part of town. Or compete in the Athlema Summit and somehow best Zakar. Stealing my map back doesn't feel like that'll happen, not with Zakar around at least. And getting into Tavi, getting the info Tavi wants isn't really panning out either. Neither me or Max are Pura Scales.
And even if they think highly of Bovos, asking to see their records on Skrilzy prisoners is just asking for trouble. And I already had enough of that back in Redroot. Yeah.
Screw it! I'll compete in it, kick his ass.
Oh? Are you certain?
Yep, got nothing to lose. And if that doesn't work, we'll try those other ideas again, until we get my map back.
Competing in the Athlema Summit is going to be the most realistic option. Probably also our best shot at getting into Pura Scale side of town.
Well, what am I gonna have to do to sign up for it?
Well, it looks like the registration doesn't open until tomorrow, so we can't do that yet. But we still can visit the Coliseum if you'd like. It's located right at the edge between the regular Skrilzy and Pura side of Terrace.
Hold on, don't you have those reports you should be doing?
I do, but they can wait a little longer. I'm an expert at cramming assignments together at the last minute. Even if there's 3 of them, it should only take a full day's work. I.e., tomorrow.
Alright, but I'm gonna make sure you get it done. I ain't gonna let you blow your work off just cause you like showing me around.
Noted.
Now, what did you order for brunch? The usual?
No, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I think I'm gonna end the part here. I think that sounds alright. We'll have our brunch later. So I'll see you guys around!